Okay, well, by popular demand, it seems like every one of the comments, everybody want me to do the full video on how to remove a Chevrolet engine. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, so let's jump to it. We zoomed in, or okay, this camera just looks like it's zoomed in. It's totally not. Now I'm going to be moving the camera around a few different dozen times probably doing this because it's going to be getting, you know, in my way a lot. But I'll try to, like, you know, talk you through some of the stuff I'm doing and whatnot. So here we go. This is how you remove a Chevrolet engine. First thing you want to do is remove the battery. Because for one, it's in your way a lot. That's a valuable seat when you're working on a four-wheel drive. So that's the first thing you do is remove the battery. And then start with the cooling system. Bear with me here because I'm, whoops, there's a hole there. You see that bottom radiator hose? Okay, yeah. I got a pan underneath there to catch all this crap because I don't want to lay in it. So, get you a flathead or a 5/16 or whatever you check your clamp takes, which in my case is neither. How is that possible? That's a 3/8. That's one heavy duty. Okay. Already making me look like an idiot. So. Flathead screwdriver, bottom radiator hose loose. I like to go ahead and just loosen the clamp way up farther than you're probably needing to. That way when you take the hose loose you can just pull the clamp off. In my case, my fan is held on with zip ties, so I'm going to go ahead and remove a couple of the zip ties. And also show you a little trick here. Cut your zip ties on that side to where you can pull this through. We'll do like a roadkill garage zip tie moment. Cut them to where you can pull this through, and then go down to this one and just cut it right there. And you can reuse that zip tie, it's totally still good. Put it right back in there, you can reuse that. If you carefully cut your zip ties, you can reuse parts of them. If you're a poor boy like me and you don't like buying things, you like reusing stuff. So back to this bottom radiator hose that's about to spill massive amounts of fluid all over my, where I'm getting ready to lay down there. I wouldn't say shop floor because we're outside right now and it's like midnight. Actually, I have really no clue what time it is. I woke up late today. It's my day off. Well, that hose is really on there. This is what happens when you use too small a hose. Stretch that out a little bit. I'm probably not going to be reusing that. I'm going to have to get another hose. Doggone it anyway. It's really on there. There we go. She broke loose. Here's the part where I spill water everywhere. Now it's actually going into the pan. I am amazed. Here's another quick tip. Take your radiator cap off when you're doing this, otherwise it'll suck your entire reservoir dry. You know, if you don't spill very much of this, doing this right now, it'll save you a lot of hassle here in a few minutes, because when you're laying under the truck, if you spilled a bunch of this stuff, you're going to be laying in it. Luckily for me, I got carpet under there, and where this is at right here is gravel, so if I do spill some, it'll drain. Boy, this radiator holds a lot of water. You guys wanted me to videotape the whole thing, so this is going to be a long night. It's going to be a long video. Good news is I got multiple SD cards and multiple battery packs, so we're going to get the whole thing on video this time. We about done yet? Come on. Okay, here we go. Alright. Now we got that draining. Start getting rid of some of these zip ties. Like I said, cut them to where you can reuse them. It won't be as long as it was before, but will still work. Unless you cut them and they go flying across the yard. Alright, how many more zip ties do I got holding this? This zip tie I'm going to have to sacrifice. That's the one that holds the tire wire. The way I had this fan hooked up was fuses, power directly to the fan. Throw that aside. And then this side is just ground. And this goes into a, well, it's supposed to be a high amperage switch, which, yeah, I didn't have one of those, so it went into an alligator clip and just gets grounded to the emergency brake lever. Lost my good cutters. I don't know where they're at. I think actually they're in the toolbox back there. I should go look, but I got these. These ain't as good, but set my grandpa gave me way better. Okay, cooling fan's loose. Like I said, you're going to have to bear with me on a lot of this video because I'm a one-man camera crew here. This stupid mount is not holding up. Okay, that exposes the radiator. Now's a good time to take your top radiator clamp off. Hope you can see that. It's probably upside down in the picture, but this is the top radiator hose. Depending on the angle of your hose and stuff, or if you're running a thermostat, this hose may or may not still have fluid in it. So take it off and angle it towards your bucket and then hold it down. I'm not running a thermostat, so this one did not have fluid in it. And go ahead and pull that right off the motor too, and then go put this hose up before you lose the hose clamps and stuff. Alright, now the radiator. Here we got long. I tried to have some of the necessary tools on hand, so I don't have to scatter around looking for tools. Real bummer I can't use air tools right now because it's like midnight and stuff, and the neighbors don't like that kind too well. Whoops, oh, we got one. Take the reservoir hose off. Also, if you're running automatic right now, you're going to be taking trans-cooler lines off. Some of you got an add-on trans-cooler or a oil cooler. Do all that, obviously. Can you even see what I'm doing? Probably not. I'm probably screwing this all up, but like I said, I'm a one-man camera crew. Where are we at? There we go. As long as that don't fall down. I'm trying to turn this screen so I can see what I'm doing here. For some reason that screen is still upside down. Well, this is a radiator mount bracket that I actually made because This radiator didn't come with any mounting hardware, and it didn't fit the truck it was supposed to fit. Wow, I had some serious pressure on it. Daggone it anyway. Okay, I'll be right back. Actually, you guys can come along, because all I'm doing is looking for something to put all these nuts and bolts and stuff in. What's in there? It's random tools and stuff. Can't use that. I need one of these, like, I need this right here. That's what I need. That's where all the nuts and bolts go. And zip ties that you can reuse, because you're going to need those probably. Or some, like, hose clamps go in there too. That way you can just throw the hose in the garage in the pile. So all the other parts you take off there, hose clamps go in there, you don't lose them. Alright, back to getting this radiator off there. Hopefully that camera will hang on. I'd like to take this time and give Obama a shout out for these cigarettes that won't stay lit. The anti-fire cigarettes or whatever. Set them in the ashtray though, they'll burn the whole cigarette up. Told you it's going to be a long, boring video, man. Buy the air tools. This radiator would already be out, and I'd be on to other things, like taking that carburetor off, taking other things off. I guess some of y'all get really, really bored. I know I do. I think back when I was watching Pug One's channel, like, you know, it's like when I watch anybody's video, like, by the way, I don't watch Pug One anymore. Too much vulgarity. Don't get me wrong, he's a cool dude and all, but when little kids are in the room, can't watch it. When the wife walks in the room, can't watch it. But usually when I watch somebody's video, I watch it all the way through, start to finish, because you never know if you're going to miss something, you know. Somebody took the time to make that video and upload it, so at least give them the common courtesy and, you know, gratitude of watching the whole damn thing. Unless it's just, you know, stupid or something. Oh, there's a lot of YouTube. Oh, wow, there's my lighter, man. I lost that a long time ago. There's sticks and things poking through my radiator. Not sure if you're getting a shot of that or not. This is another reason why I'm getting tired of mud trucks. Let me flip this screen around. Shit like that's not good for stuff. Alright, out with the radiator. Gently. Because it's like really, really expensive. And you're probably going to leak radiator fluid somewhere in the process of doing this, so be aware of that. Whoops, don't drop the camera. That's bad for it. Alright, that's funny. I didn't remember installing that with, ah, what the hell? That's like pine needles and thorns. I'll just leave that there for, you know, for the next guy. I'm like bleeding now. How in the hell did that just happen? Anyway, y'all wanted to see me cuss and stuff. I was real close right there. I don't know what a lot of that is, but it's really prickly. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I was just driving through cattails. I didn't think cattails were prickly like that. That's like a bunch of thorns. Anyway, okay, go ahead and get that bottom radiator hose out of your way because it's going to be in your way shortly. Trust me. And it's just easier to take stuff off like this and just get it out of the way. Inspect it while you got it apart, of course. This engine ain't got hardly any miles on it. It ain't even got probably 30 miles on it. I really don't even think that many, to tell you the truth. 6 and 6 is 12. Okay, it might have right at 30 miles on it, but I don't think any more than that. That bottom radiator hose is really stubborn sometimes. You gotta work at it. Especially if you paint it apart and then put it together. So let's work on that. Yeah. Easier to do things with two hands. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that or not. It really is. Fresh paint all. Okay. Again, those planks go in the box. The rest goes in the shop or wherever you're storing the parts. Moving right along. What we want to do next? If you got a ground strap that's connected to your engine, you might as well take that off because that's going to be in the way pretty shortly. So, let's do that. If you can help it, put the bolts that came out of places back into the places they came out of. Save you a lot of hassle later. Take your other ground cable, go out this side with your positive cable, get that out of the way. Don't need that anymore. Alright. Get the breather out of the way. Wow, that's nice and full of water. Holy crap. You gotta see this. This is why you don't go off-roading with a breather like this. Watch this, man. See how the water just poured out of that? That's awesome. Stick that somewhere. Dr. Pepper. Caffeine is a must. Holy shit. Look at all the dirt on the inside of that carburetor. Yeah, I'm really glad this engine's not being off-roaded no more, because that's freaking ridiculous. That's dirty. So yeah, moving right along. Getting into the fun stuff now. Let's go ahead and take the headers off. You could start on wiring right now, but it's easier just to take the headers off. So what I normally like to do is start with the plug wires, start pulling them off. Don't matter what order you pull them off. Give them a little twist when you pull them too. Don't just pull them straight off, especially if you got them cheap Walmart wires. These are actually some really good wires. Wish I wouldn't have said that. I'd probably jinx myself. I haven't so far. I don't know if you can even see what the hell I'm doing. Lay that aside. Go over here and do the other side. And I never really pulled from the back. I pulled from the end of the boot. Seems to work better that way and not pull the ends off of them. Like, instead of pulling it like this, reach behind it and pull it like this. Yeah, and just take that, lay it out of the way, because you're about to take the distributor off. I am wearing a flannel shirt and I am burning up, so I gotta take this off real quick. Thinking I could fend off mosquitoes by wearing a flannel shirt. It's working for the mosquitoes, it's not working because I'm burning up right now. Go ahead and get this radiator mount out of the way. It's fun stuff, ain't it? Now for this side I have to remove the dipstick, but I can leave the tube in it. So you got to be really careful not to get dirt into the dipstick. This is fun stuff. Let's go ahead and go for the headers, because they're kind of a pain. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Don't know if you can even see that. Yeah, you can see that. Normally I'd be using air tools and I'd be done with this right now. Now some of y'all are going to have to take your starter off before you take your headers off. I can take mine off with the starter still on, so I got the room for it. It really sucks reaching all the way in here like this stuff. A lot of people, if you haven't done this before and you don't have a lot of room, you might want to consider getting some old junk spark plugs, taking your good ones out and putting some old junk ones in the motor. One, to keep dirt out, two, because you're probably going to break them off doing this. I've done this a few times and I'm going to really try not to break them off. Trick is, the header will balance itself on the back bolt. So as soon as you start getting it loose, you're going to start dropping your gaskets. So you're going to want to pull your gaskets out, lay them to the side, because you got to remember you still got a pan of water underneath the truck. This thing's going to drip and drip and drip, so especially when you start moving the engine around, it's going to start dripping like crazy. But yeah, take these out, try to save them. Most of the time it's a good idea to get new ones, but you don't have to. You know. And a lot of these are slip-ins, so you can just lift them off there without taking the bolts all the way out. And like I said, the header will balance itself on the very last two bolts or the very last bolt, depending on what kind of header you got. So always do the back ones first or last. Put the back ones in first and take them out last. That bolt don't want to come out of there. So hold that, drop the bolt in the bucket, and then you can lift your header out gently and easily without damaging the spark plugs. There you go. There's one header removed. Work around to the other side, which is not so much fun, but it's pretty much the same thing. Just there's a dipstick in the way and the steering box. Just kind of close. And the lines and just a lot of stuff that kind of just makes it more of a pain. We're already into 25 minutes here, so y'all are in for a long video. I'm kind of taking my time and trying to explain this stuff. If I wasn't moving the camera around, I'd have this thing probably most of the way done. Have to move the camera, have to move the light so the camera can see, you know, that stuff takes time. And usually I'm in a pretty big hurry to get stuff done. Last one's really a pain in the ass. Hard to believe looking at this 30 minutes ago it was a complete running and driving track. Time flies when they're having fun. I have to run a die over this bolt, tapping the hole with this little carbon on it. Gasket must be leaking back here. Or mud. Always break that back bolt loose, but I don't loosen it. Just give it about a quarter turn. Of course on this one, can you see in this? Okay, of course on this one you got to use a wrench. You can't use the box inside the wrench. You got to use the open side of the wrench, or whatever the hell you call it. Closed side, open side, box side. I'm not technical on stuff, I just get stuff done. Be surprised what you can learn on the internet. Through old people and listening. Growing up around old school hot rodders.
do things a little different than they teach you in school. But people in school learn from books. School hot rodders, people who've been there and done that, know from experience what the fuck they're talking about. If somebody's talking to you, listen. Word of advice to you young folks out there. Okay, got all 3 gaskets out. Take the last bolt out, grab the center of the header to hold it. Be ready to catch the damn thing. You take this bolt out, it's going to fall and break your spark plug if you're not used to what it's going to do. You're not holding the center of gravity when you're holding it by the middle, you're holding it past the center of gravity. It's going to tilt backwards on you. Okay, here's the fun part on mine. Gotta remove my dipsticks. I got a driver's side dipstick. It's a pre-73 engine. I'm gonna kind of finesse it up and over that. And then I got my clutch linkage down there, so I gotta around the clutch linkage. Around this dipstick tube. It's not easy. There. See, this is the part where it gets to be in the ass. Caught on something underneath the trap. The brake booster's in the way on this side. The header's supposed to go down towards the bottom, but the trick is getting it to go down past the kicked out oil pan and over this stupid dipstick tube right here. I can pull that up and shove this down without pinching my fingers in between it. It should go, but totally not going to. There we go. Getting her wedged in there pretty good though. There we go, for fuck's sakes. Now then, snake it downward, past the clutch linkage. Then you drop it out the bottom of the truck and pull it out from underneath. I'm not an idiot, I have done this before. There's one header. The other header. Alrighty then. Well then, you're going to want to change the oil because you probably just got mud down your dipstick tube, and you're going to want to blow some air through that and change your oil. Run it for a minute, change the filter. Well, actually, I'd blow air down it, blow a little oil down the dipstick tube, blow some air down it, run it for a minute, and then change the oil and filter. But I didn't get but just a couple specks of dirt in there, but I know what's in there, so it's going to bug the shit out of me. Tell you what would have prevented that if you used to take that dipstick out and put a little bitty rubber cap over it, or a piece of good thick tape. So anyway, headers are off. Now let's get to the more fun stuff. We got to take that carburetor off, which is much easier to get to if you take all the distributor and wiring off. So I'm glad I found that lighter.
And it still works even after going through all that mud. It's awesome. So now's the time when you first move your gas discs before you damage them. All 6 of them. Throw them in the bucket, full of bolts. Get in the engine compartment. And that makes it much easier to get to this distributor. Take it off. And of course I don't have a little short screwdriver with me, all I got's that great big long one, which is awesome. So I'm going to cheat. No, I'm not. That's nice and tight. Okay, I'm going to go get a little short screwdriver, then I'll be right back. Oh, I'm getting too old for this shit. I'll take you guys in here with me. You're wanting to see a complete video. So. Oh man. My knee is like busted open and bleeding again. It's kind of not cool. Yeah, in the video I just made pulling this truck up, I went to get in the truck and I caught my knee. Oh, there it is. Caught my knee on the rusted out underneath the door or whatever the hell you call that. Floorboards. Where they're supposed to be metal and there's not. It's just jagged and rusty. Yeah, I cut the shit out of myself on that. Boy, it really hurts. I'm going to set you up right on top of the carburetor, or not. Probably not. No, not at all. How about right here? Put the screen around backwards so I can see. Yeah, that works. Get you back to distributor holder downers loose. Whatever the hell they call them things. Which is fun to get to on the back ones. Unhook your wiring. I think it's easy to slightly lift the cap and then unhook the wiring. Some people unhook the wiring and then move the cap. I personally don't see where it makes a difference. And just kind of pull all this mess out of here. That's what you do. Get all that out. Throw it overboard because you don't need it anymore. Oh man. Gonna want to start pulling the wiring harness out. Also, take the vacuum advance line off the distributor. Just throw it back here somewhere. I like to just kind of wrap mine around the inside of the distributor. You should actually probably take that all the way off. And more zip ties. Where's the cutters? It's also a good idea to cover your carburetor up with a rag or something while you're doing stuff like this. I'm not doing that really. Actually, all this has got to come out anyway, so I'm just going to cut that. So here's my MSD RPM controller. Oops. It's funny to send that down the carburetor right after I told everybody, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. This is the main power that comes off my truck, which is just a quick connect plug. Gives the MSD controller as well. And this is actually just the ground. I am taking this off of here. I ain't going to use it on this truck, I'm using it on the other truck, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that ground wire. Pull it back out of the way. That way. Can you even see any of this? I hope you can see this. That way I can take this whole harness here,
after hitting your funny bone on the hinge hood, normally I take the hood off first. This time I'm leaving it on till last because I need somewhere to hang lights. Then I can unhook the wiring harness from my ignition box. Pretty much looks like that when you're done. Get rid of it. Now that's all nice and tidy up here out of the way. So now all the ignition's unhooked. All the wiring back here is unhooked. Now all you gotta worry about is this one clip right here on the alternator. Unhook him. And then pull him out of the way. This clip here. Well, it ain't a clip, it's a, there's a nut under here. You gotta get this stupid rubber boot off. I despise these rubber boots. They're hard to get on there the right way, and once you get them on, they're hard to get back off. They're kind of cheap. I did mention make sure your battery's unhooked, right? Okay. Stupid little rubber boot out of the way. Get you a 7/16 inch, or on you foreign guys, a 10mm. Mine's all the way on the other side of the truck. Oh, and I just dropped my ratchet. That's a real bummer. That means I got to get back out of here before I do other stuff I need to do. Okay, you see on my alternator how the main terminal post is turning with the nut? That's bad. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get another wrench that fits that other nut, the other terminal, which is not easy to do because there's a big freaking bushing thing around there. What I usually do is hope for the best. I hold it with my hand and put a wrench on it. I hold the wire connector itself. Usually that'll come loose like that. This one's being stubborn. But yeah, if you're turning that center terminal, that center post, don't do that because you're going to tear up the alternator. That's not supposed to turn. And the fact that this one did means that either I had this tightened down way too tight, or that's a backing nut, that'll be loose. But, whoa, no, there's water down there, don't drop the camera. Okay, wiring harness is done. Crap. Now you got to take the alternator off to get the wiring harness out from behind the alternator that goes around and goes to the starter. So now you got to take the alternator off. I was really not wanting to do that, but it looks like I'm having to, at least that one bracket. I might as well just take the damn thing off. Okay. I gotta get the ratchet I just dropped. I could do this with wrenches, but it would be so much quicker with the ratchet. Tag on it anyway. Where are we at? 43 minutes so far. That's pretty slow. But y'all's wanted a full video. Just keep blaming you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you don't like this video, go to the video before it and in the comments blame those guys. They're the ones that wanted to see the full video. I'm just messing with you. A lot of people actually need to know this stuff. Okay, so in my case, I don't have to take the alternator all the way off. All I gotta do is loosen the top bolt and then loosen the size. Loosen this bottom bracket. All the way off. And just pull this out just enough to get this wiring harness out. It's easier if you get the belt out of the way. I love these Bloomer drive belts too. These things are kick-ass. There we go. That's all I need to do. Wiring harness out of the way, put your alternator right back on there. have to screw with that kind of stuff later. Or at least, you know, snug it up where it's there. Don't forget to tighten it. That's by no means like tight, but it's on there. That's the wrong size. Here. Alright, what's next? Wiring harness. More zip ties. More wire. Okay, I have my wiring harness attached to the motor mounts, zip ties, to make sure it doesn't get into the headers. It'd be funny if somebody's standing over there watching me do this, thinking I'm talking to myself. Dude's done lost his mind. Okay, at this point you can get the whole wiring harness, get it the hell out of your way. Then after you go down underneath, and you can't see what I'm pointing at. After you go down underneath, take your starter off. Actually, you can, from up here without the headers on, you can go ahead and get to these wires right here. And you don't even have to take the damn starter off to pull the engine, but I like to do it anyway because it makes things easier and you got a little more clearance. You know, the starter usually stays with the truck and the flywheel that's on it, you know what I mean? Like when I put this engine in the other truck, I'm going to be using that flex plate with the automatic 4L6 or 4L80E, I think. Got to double check on that. And then I'm going to be using the starter off the V6 because all the 4.3 is a 350 with 2 cylinders cut off. So it's interesting. You know what that is? That's off my breather. And there's the wing nut to my breather. Don't lose those kind of things. Put them in the bucket. Also, wiring harness and stuff. And the distributor. Take that inside. Keep it good and dry and clean. Because they're expensive and stuff. You don't want to have to go buy a new one because you got it all screwed up from water. That means don't park it under a hole in the roof. Great. All my tools are going to get rained on. I'll just put that there and let that drop on the floor because I don't care. Okay, this is a huge pain. I really hope you guys ain't picking up the music in the background. YouTube don't like that kind very much. Alrighty then. Wiring's out of the way. Pull some of the other crap out of the way. Get the carb off there. What you're going to want to do, go get you a spark plug, which I'm going to have to go find one real quick, probably out of the shed. Get you a spark plug and plug that fuel line into a spark plug because it fits perfect, and then tighten it down to where you don't leak fuel everywhere. And do the same thing for this main line down here that's got a bunch of weeds and shit in it still, and it's all twisted up. Do the same thing with that. Jam a spark plug just like that in there backwards. That way it makes a really good, nice seal. And you don't leak gas everywhere. Okay, we're getting up on 49 minutes. This is going to conclude part 1. I'm not going to do anything to this off camera. So get a quick look at it and stuff. We're getting up to 49. It's going to be 50 minutes by the time I get done yakking. So cables are hanging off. You've seen what all I've done so far. I got to go in and switch out the battery pack and the memory card on this camera, and I'm going to come right back out and get right back on it. I'm not going to do anything off camera, so take a good look. This is how everything is right now. That way you know I'm not cheating, doing stuff off camera, trying to make it look like I'm faster than I am or something. I'm doing this solo in the middle of the night with no power tools. So what you see is what you get, but I'm trying to take you all through step by step what the hell I'm doing and what you got to do to remove an engine from the truck. And we're getting like real close to pulling this engine out of the truck.
There's only a few more things we got to do, so stay tuned. Check out part 2. It'll be uploaded as soon as I get the engine out. Pretty much. I ain't going to edit nothing. You're getting it raw, uncut. What you see is what you get. This is what you got to do. So I will see you all in part 2. Like I said, I gotta go. I'm probably gonna get a bite to eat, get something to drink, and yeah, switch out the SD card on this camera and put a battery in it. I got 5 minutes of memory left, so it's time to shut up and go get this done. But take a good look how everything is. I'm not cheating. I'm showing you all the full video. That's how the part stuff it looks. I ain't got a phone on me to show you the time or nothing, because you know, don't have a phone in your pocket when you're sitting on jagged metal, because you're gonna break your screen of your phone. But anyway, that concludes part 2. We got a lot done. I'll see, or part 1. Shit, I can't even talk. I'm tired. That concludes part 1. We got a whole lot of stuff done, you know, and blah blah blah. See you in part 2. Here we go.